Yo, welcome to my channel, Purple Couch. I'm here to help. I'm here to help the up-and-coming filmmakers. I'm here to help people on their pursuit of a passion. I feel like if more people were fulfilled and were living up to their potential, the world would be a better place. And when I meet people, I try to bring out the best in them. So let's get right into it. I want to tell y'all how I broke into the film industry. So it all starts on YouTube. I'm watching these videos to learn new things, learn the basics, learn camera movements. I'm watching channels like Film Riot, Aperture, Indie Mogul, Studio Binder. I'm watching all these different channels that are kind of upping my knowledge on the game. So I click on a video, it says music video tips or something with Justin Jones, something like that. It's an Indie Mogul video. And so this guy, Ted, he's the host. I get a lot of value from it. I learn a lot of techniques. I learn a lot of tips. And at the end of the video, they do that like, hey, where can we find you? What's your Instagram handle? Yada, yada. Justin says his Instagram handle. Hey, hit me up anytime if you have any questions. So I'm like, okay. I go on to IG. I DM him and I say, hey, if you ever need somebody to do BTS for free, I'll come out and shoot. And he was like, yeah, send me some stuff, send me some work, send me your reel. Send him a reel, and then it kind of just fizzles out after that. Fast forward to a couple months later, I'm down here working in the studio. I'm listening to a podcast, and this guy's like, you know how I get people's attention? I take selfie videos and I address them personally. That seems to work for me. And so I'm like, that's a pretty good idea. So I take a selfie video. I'm holding my wallet. I'm like, yo, I'll fly out on my own dime. I'll stay at my boy's house on his couch. I'll get all the Ubers to you. I just want the opportunity to shadow you. I want to learn from people that are better than me, that are more established. I want to level up. He hits me back, and I'm like, oh, holy shit. He's like, hey, man, I'm on a job from this date to this date. You should come out, and I'll show you some stuff. And I'm like, shit. So I booked the flight. I hit up my boy Tyler. I'm like, hey, man, let me stay at your crib. He's like, cool. Got everything lined up. Fast forward to hopping on that flight and getting out there. I'm in LA. At this point, I've just been DMing with him. I don't even have his phone number yet. So I sent him a DM and I'm like, yo, I'm in LA, just touched down, looking to link up. And he said, cool, come by my studio. I head over to Van Nuys to his studio. It's called Beam. And I get there and there's an Aperture shoot going. And I'm like, oh shit, like I've watched these guys on the internet a million times. Like they've given me so much game. So right when I get there, I'm already immersed in the industry. I'm watching them do their shoot. I'm seeing all the different roles, the different people kind of doing their thing. Justin shows up. I could kind of tell he was like, oh shit, like you actually showed up. So I helped him with a couple of things around the studio for free. He had just got the studio, so he was still doing work on it. So then he's like, yo, what are you doing tonight? And I'm like, no plans, man. No plans. He's like, well, we're going out to get some drinks. It's my birthday. If you want to come, you're more than welcome. I'm like, oh, shit, it's your birthday? All right, yeah, definitely. We go to this, like, local pub. It's like a English pub. Just kicking it, man. Having a good time. Talking about the film business. He's putting me on game to all this stuff. He's giving me knowledge. I'm asking questions. It was a really cool night. We go back to his pad. He's got this Alexa Mini LF and, $100,000 camera with like tens of thousands of dollars worth of lenses. And he's showing me the camera. And it's my first time ever seeing a fucking cinema camera ever. The end of the night comes. He's like, all right, man, I'll see you on set. I'll send you the address. Go back to my boy's house in Studio City. I'm like, all right, it's fucking go time. Next day rolls around. Type the address into Uber. I'm like, oh shit, it's downtown LA. It's like a $50 Uber. I'm like, whatever. Hop in that Uber, traffic and all. I show up on set and it's a moment I'll never forget. I walk in and I'm on a legitimate movie set. I'm looking around. I'm seeing all the different people doing the different jobs. I see, catering set up and a crafty table. I see hair and makeup over here. I see the camera department getting set up. I see all the moving pieces. I walk into this set and it's like a fake morgue. I'm looking around and I see actors that have acted in my favorite TV shows, and it was just a lot to process. But right then I knew. I was like, this is where I need to be. It lit my ass on fire. Somebody asks, who's going to run the slate? And for those that don't know what a slate is basically, it's that clapper thing. So I'm like, I'll do it. You know, I've never done it before. And, you know, I wanted to contribute on set. And I was amped. I was completely jacked that I had a job on set hitting the little clapper thing. In between takes, you know, when everything was happening, I was just soaking up game. Soaking up game like a sponge. I mean, it was invigorating. Then we get to, you know, the end of the day. My personality is, while I'm on set, I'm interacting with everybody. I'm making friends. I'm getting IGs. I'm getting phone numbers. I'm making friends with people on set. Some of the people that I met on that set that day are still to this day some of my greatest friends, especially in the film industry. So I show up to a couple of shoot days. I watch the movie Magic. I meet all the people. I go home. I go back home on that high. And I'm like, shit, man, I got a lot to learn. Realizing that I have a lot to learn, you know, I kind of got back to the drawing board, and I went back to YouTube and Google. I knew where I needed to fill in the gaps of stuff that I needed to learn in order to direct my first crew on my first movie set, or on my first set in general. The pandemic hits. Everything shut down, but I used that opportunity to gain knowledge, to sharpen the sword, to learn more, to network. So months go by, and I find somebody that has some money to shoot a documentary that they've been wanting to shoot. I was like, I know some people. Let me hit them up and let's see if we could put something together. Basically, I secured the bag. I opened a text thread, you know, and I was like, hey, I found this client. She's looking to do this documentary, blah, blah, blah. At first, I feel like it was another one of those scenarios where it's just like, okay, this random guy says he's got a job, cool. But I got my boy to kind of help push the process along. Everybody accepted. I ended up hiring these guys to be my crew. And then it came time to go out there and shoot this sizzle for this documentary. It's pretty intimidating. The amount of experience combined on the set that I was about to walk into was decades more than mine. Walking into this thing very green, it can intimidate people. And I'm not going to lie, you know, there was a little bit of pressure. But at the end of the day, I at least knew how to portray my vision into words. I knew enough within the technical aspects of the film industry that I would be able to convey my message to my crew. You know, we get through the shoot. I killed it. I learned a lot on that shoot, and that's for another video. I'll tell you, you know, the things that went really great and the things that went really fucking bad. But on the whole, I felt great. I was on this high. One thing that led me to that was determination. I was determined to level up. I was determined to do something more with my career. I was determined to move my career forward without taking risks, without putting in the effort to make something happen, to bring something into existence. I wouldn't have been able to pull it off. So boom, first directing job in Hollywood under my belt. I hired my mentor as my director of photography. I hired people that I was shadowing months prior to work on my crew, on my set. So never be afraid to take that leap into the unknown, because that is where you're going to grow, period. I know you've heard that shit a million times. It's become a cliche at this point. This was a full circle moment for me. This is what I did to break in. I'm not saying that this is the only path to take. I'm not saying that this is the exact way to do it. I'm not saying that it will even work for you. I put in my own money, my own time, my own effort. One thing that you can take away from this is that, you know, to move your career forward, you have to step into the unknown. You have to take risks. You have to take chances. You got to bet on yourself, because no one else is going to do this shit for you. If this video brought you any value whatsoever, please like that shit, subscribe. Hopefully my story has inspired you just a little bit, maybe just enough to take that first step forward, or to leap into the unknown and to get cracking in the film game. My name is Joey McClellan. Peace out.